Setting Up a Bearded Dragon Terrarium by Tessa Waters. Getting a new pet can be an exciting experience, especially when choosing something more exotic such as a reptile. Bearded dragons are the most common beginner reptiles to own, and they can thrive in any situation as long as their terrarium is set up correctly. Having owned multiple reptiles myself, including 3 bearded dragons, I'll be able to show you the perfect setup to ensure your pet's health and happiness. The first step is to choose the correct size terrarium for your pet. The first size here is a 20-gallon terrarium. This is going to be perfect for baby bearded dragons, such as the one I used to own that took up the size of my 3 fingers. This next size is 40 gallons. This is going to be for a larger sized reptile. And then the largest size, not the largest, but a larger size that would be comfortable for an adult bearded dragon, such as my buddy Apollo here. This is going to be a 55 or larger gallon terrarium, and this one here is right in the neighborhood of 75 gallons. The next step in setting up your terrarium is going to be choosing the appropriate substrate. For smaller bearded dragons, you're going to want to have carpet. You can also choose tile or paper towels, something, but carpet is the best for your baby bearded dragon. And if you look over here, this bearded dragon is a little bit older. Her name's Athena, and she has sand. Baby bearded dragons, it is very important that they are not in sand because they cannot digest the food. They can't digest if they get some of this sand in their stomach. But with the larger ones, it'll pass through. So to always make sure that your baby bearded dragon is in carpet, and once they get large enough, then they can go into sand. After that, you're going to need to install a thermometer. This one also has humidity, which is very important. You're going to want to put it towards one side or the other, and you're going to want to have it 3/4 of the way up. Not all the way up like this one right here is. You're going to want to have it about 3/4 of the way up and towards your hot side of the tank. Bearded dragons need a hot and cold side of the tank. They are ectotherms, which means they can't digest food the way humans do. They need a basking spot. So you're going to need a hot side and a cold side to the tank. And since they are desert animals, you don't want the humidity too high either. So you want to make sure that you have something that reads both the temperature and the humidity of your tank. Following that, you're going to need to add some decor to your tank. You want to make sure that your bearded dragon has a hiding spot, that their food and water dishes are on the cold side of their tank because you don't want their water or their leafy greens to dry up before they get a chance to eat or drink either of them. You want to make sure that they have a basking spot so that they can reach their heat lamp, but you don't want it any closer than 8 inches to the top of the tank or else that'll get too hot for them. And then you can just add some other fun stuff for them to climb on. Bearded dragons love to climb on things. And I found that mine like leaves so that you can add them to climb on. Or over here in this tank, if you notice, this bearded dragon has what's called a reptihammock. And I found that this is a bearded dragon's, almost, at least mine, their favorite thing to lay on. I'll find them laying on this all day, every day. So this is a good piece if you want to invest in that. It's not very expensive, so that's a good choice to have. One thing that can be difficult when setting up your bearded dragon terrarium is striking a balance between having too much and too little decor in your tank. You want to make sure that they have room so that they can climb up to their basking spot, they can hide, they can climb around on these leaves or this here, but you want to make sure that they also have room that they can run around because bearded dragons eat live crickets, and if there's too much in their tank, it'll clog it so that they can't run around and eat their crickets. So just a couple of things here and there. It doesn't have to be too fancy, but we'll make sure that they have enough to get around and still be happy climbing and hiding and all that. The final step to setting up a perfect terrarium is going to be their lights. Like I said, bearded dragons are ectotherms. They need a other heat source for them to digest their food. They don't digest the way humans do. So you're going to need a daytime basking lamp, and it depends on the size of your bearded dragon on what wattage you might need. They're also going to need a infrared heat lamp for the nighttime. So you don't want to have, this light on all the time. They need a nighttime lamp. And then right here is a UV lamp or a UVB lamp. This is absolutely necessary for your bearded dragon. They need this to synthesize the calcium in their diet so that they don't get metabolic bone disease, which can be very fatal in bearded dragons. So you always want to make sure that you have a UV lamp on your tank. And one convenient thing right here is that with my friend Apollo's tank, you can find these double dome fixtures which have the heat lamp, and then they also have the nighttime lamp, so you can just switch back and forth without having multiple things. And again, he has a UV lamp, very vital for his health and happiness. The last step is adding your beloved bearded dragon to their tank and watch them thrive. It can be difficult for new reptile owners to set up their bearded dragon habitat. We went through the size of the tank that you want, substrate, decor, lighting. Now with the knowledge you've earned, you should be able to happily set up your bearded dragon terrarium and watch your new friend thrive and survive in this perfect setup.